In the depths of the enchanting forest, Tang San keenly observed the resuscitated golden wood tree, which emanated an intensified life force. Standing beside him, Zhang Hao expressed his concern that the tree's heightened energy would attract unwanted attention and potentially bring trouble to them in the future. In response, Tang San assured him that he had specifically chosen this day to address this very issue. His objective was twofold: to expedite the tree's growth and conceal its distinctive aura. When Zhang Hao inquired about the employment of an array, Tang San confidently confirmed that not one but two arrays would be utilized. The first would be the imaginary formation, while the second would be the formidable swallowing sky array. Furthermore, Tang San explained that the implementation of 18 spirit-gathering arrays would be necessary. He handed Zhang Hao a comprehensive list of materials required for this endeavor. Upon swiftly perusing the list, Zhang Hao remarked that the materials would be costly. In response, Tang San reassured his teacher, emphasizing that he would craft additional spirit-gathering array discs for him to sell. He guaranteed that this venture would yield substantial profits for his esteemed teacher. Zhang Hao, unfamiliar with the concept of array discs, inquired about their nature. In response, Tang San elucidated that these were portable metal spells that he intended to allow the Redemption organization to sell. Zhang Hao was bewildered by the immense benefits this would bring to the organization. However, Tang San assured him that there was no cause for concern. Nevertheless, Tang San did have a few conditions. Firstly, Zhang Hao would assume the title of Formation Grandmaster. Additionally, he was strictly forbidden from disclosing the fact that Tang San was the creator of the array discs, as Tang San feared potential complications. The second condition entailed Zhang Hao refraining from complaining whenever Tang San wished to spend money. Zhang Hao readily agreed to the second condition, recognizing that without Tang San's contributions, there would be no initial benefits. Lastly, the third condition stipulated that they must save as much money as possible within a year, with the ultimate goal of visiting the ancestral court to acquire valuable treasures. Subsequently, Zhang Hao departed to procure the necessary materials. Meanwhile, Tang San summoned the Red Fox girls and assessed their progress in cultivation. He proceeded to demonstrate and teach them the Purple Demon Eye technique. Furthermore, he instructed them to diligently learn the technique, as it would pave the way for their future development. Before Zhang Hao's return, Tang San urged the girls to pay close attention while he set up the array. It took half a month to fully establish and arrange the arrays in the valley. Once Tang San completed the final array, he requested his teacher, Zhang Hao, to activate the spirit-gathering array. With Zhang Hao's assistance, Tang San successfully activated all the spirit-gathering arrays, causing them to illuminate the valley one by one. As a result, the valley became a magnet for the rich essence qi of the world. Once it entered the mist created by the spirit-gathering arrays, a sense of calm settled over everything, leaving Tang San pleased with the outcome. As he admired his work, he confidently informed Zhang Hao that only god-level powerhouses would be able to enter the Golden Valley. Zhang Hao was deeply impressed by the seamless integration of the array series, viewing it as nothing short of a miracle. Tang San humbly acknowledged the compliment, but mentioned that the results could have been even more remarkable if he had possessed greater strength. He then requested Zhang Hao's assistance in locating exotic flower seeds and rare herbs to be planted in the valley. In addition, Tang San took the time to teach Zhang Hao the art of creating spirit-gathering array discs. He also imparted his knowledge of arrays to the Fox girls as they diligently cultivated. As the seasons changed, a year swiftly passed. Tang San opened his eyes, signaling the end of his prolonged meditation. During that time, he had successfully replenished the divine consciousness he had previously expended. As he rose to stretch, he noticed Zhang Hao nearby, proudly displaying his new blue redemption symbol. Tang San immediately recognized the significance of the color change and warmly congratulated his teacher on his promotion. Zhang Hao attributed his success to the spirit-gathering discs crafted by Tang San. Furthermore, Zhang Hao revealed that the organization had offered him a transfer to headquarters, but he declined the opportunity. Tang San commended his decision, noting that it would be more challenging to earn a substantial income there. Speaking of finances, he inquired whether they had saved enough to participate in the Ancestral Court's auction. Zhang Hao responded positively, but he clarified that the critical requirement for Tang San to attend the auction was for him to renounce his vassal status and become a noble. Tang San realized that he needed to participate in the coliseum in order to achieve this. However, this time, he was confident that he could participate and win without revealing his multiple bloodline abilities. Zhang Hao felt relieved upon hearing this and expressed his desire to return to the Redemption headquarters to seek assistance. After some thought, Tang San suggested that his teacher should complete his breakthrough before heading to the headquarters. Zhang Hao hesitated, fearing that he would be discovered if he attempted to break through alone. Tang San explained that due to the immense interest in the spirit-gathering discs, it was likely that the organization would want Zhang Hao to disclose the method of their creation. Zhang Hao appeared downcast and admitted that this was a possibility, but he was uncertain about where he should go to undergo the breakthrough. In response, Tang San mentioned that he had a location in mind, pointing towards the sea. He explained that near the sea, there would be no cause for concern, even in the event of a significant breakthrough. This was because of the lingering presence of the sea god, which deterred Carey City from sending anyone to investigate. Instead, they would only become more convinced of the existence of the sea god. Zhang Hao wondered why Tang San spoke as if the sea god was connected to him. To his surprise, Tang San confirmed his suspicion and revealed that he had a connection to the sea god. This unexpected revelation left Zhang Hao in a state of shock. However, Tang San quickly reassured him and calmly explained that what he had witnessed was merely an illusion created through the use of an array. Despite this explanation, Zhang Hao remained skeptical, as he vividly remembered the overwhelming sense of coercion that seemed to emanate from the illusion, comparable to that of great demon emperors. In an attempt to provide concrete evidence, Tang San proposed creating another array. However, Zhang Hao discouraged him from doing so, citing the potential complications it could cause. Internally, he couldn't help but marvel at the seemingly limitless abilities of the young boy. As they gazed into the distance, Tang San implored his teacher to consider his proposal. Initially, he planned to obtain a noble status by participating in the coliseum. Sometime later, Tang San unexpectedly reunited with Dubai and Wu Bingji. To his delight, Tang San invited him to the coliseum, a pleasant surprise indeed. Dubai took this opportunity to express his frustration with Tang San's absence during their cultivation sessions, questioning how he would advance to the 6th rank without his assistance. Tang San firmly responded, emphasizing that Dubai must rely on his efforts for progress. However, Dubai remained insistent, persistently seeking Tang San's aid. Subsequently, Wu Bingji inquired about Tang San's intentions for visiting the Coliseum. Tang San explained his plans to earn a noble status, followed by a journey to the ancestral court in search of opportunities. The mention of the ancestral court piqued the curiosity of the two companions, who eagerly expressed their desire to accompany Tang San. Tang San himself couldn't help but wonder why the ancestral court held such allure. As they strolled through the valley, his companions enlightened him, explaining that it was a coveted destination due to its abundance of influential individuals and natural treasures. Intrigued, they resolved to familiarize themselves with the Coliseum's regulations before engaging in any battles. Later, Tang San returned to the milk tea shop and purchased 3 cups of milk tea. As they savored the beverage, Tang San couldn't help but notice that Su Qin, Mei Gongzi's mother, remained silent about her daughter. This sparked Tang San's curiosity about Mei Gongzi's return, as he longed to see her again. Eventually, Tang San and his group arrived at the Grand Coliseum, where they discovered the existence of team battles alongside the one-on-one fights. Tang San proceeded to explain to Wu Bingji and Dubai the 2 ways they could attain noble status. The first method involved winning 100 consecutive individual matches, while the second required triumphing in 10 consecutive team battles. However, the rules of the team battles were brutal, as the matches would only conclude when a team was annihilated. Wu Bingji, always astute, comprehended that Tang San expected them to participate in a team battle together. On the other hand, Dubai, filled with excitement, viewed this as an opportunity to slack off. Despite being part of the team, he intended to lie down and secure victory without utilizing his powers, causing Tang San to be perplexed as to why anyone would be so shameless. Afterward, Wu Bingji agreed with the plan and revealed his mastery of a new technique. However, before taking any action, they decided to return and consult their teacher first. At the Redemption Academy, Tang San met with Mayor Zhang Hao, who inquired about the boy's certainty regarding the plan. Tang San confidently asserted that he was 100% certain as long as he could ensure everyone's safe return. Zhang Hao emphasized the importance of convincing the other academy teachers, as the matter held significant weight. Fortunately, Tang San had already devised a plan, which he whispered to his teacher, who then expressed approval. Later, when Zhang Hao presented the idea to the other teachers, they were skeptical and considered it to be risky and potentially disastrous. One of the teachers, Guan Long, inquired if it was the mayor's suggestion. However, Zhang Hao clarified that he had no involvement in it and that it was the brainchild of their core disciples. Zhang Hao further explained that he initially had reservations, but eventually agreed to let them participate in the Coliseum if they could demonstrate their strength. When teacher Mu En questioned how the students intended to prove themselves, Zhang Hao allowed Tang San to step forward. Tang San proposed that if their team of 5 could successfully challenge teacher Guanlong and 2 others and emerge victorious, they should be deemed eligible to fight in the coliseum. Upon receiving Tang San's affirmative response and confirming the details of the challenge with Guanlong, the latter readily accepted the challenge and was determined to teach the students a lesson. Later, while strategizing with Dubai, Tang San advised him against participating in the fight due to his inability to utilize his luck ability before the battle. However, Tang San revealed that he had made alternative arrangements for the Coliseum battle, which delighted Dubai, although Tang San attempted to push him away in jest. Soon after, Wu Bingji returned with Gu Li and Chengzi, who were brimming with excitement for the upcoming Coliseum battle and the immediate challenge that lay before them. In response, Tang San gathered them together to discuss tactics. Subsequently, Tang San called out to Guanlong, informing him that his team had completed their strategizing and was prepared for the fight. In a short period, both teachers and students assembled at a clearing within the academy, facing each other. As they made their final preparations before the battle, Dubai provided a boost of luck for everyone on his team, and they were finally prepared. Before they could commence, Siru inquired about Zhang Hao's prediction of the outcome. However, Zhang Hao provided a vague response. Eventually, the signal to begin was given, and everyone's expressions shifted to one of intense focus. Guanlong unleashed his 9th-ranked Water Spirit transformation, Mu En unleashed his 8th-ranked Force Ape transformation, and the final teacher, Mu Yunyu, released her 8th-ranked Azure Phoenix transformation. Wu Bingji took the initiative and launched a swift ice needle towards his opponent, Guanlong. At the same time, Tang San and Gu Li charged forward for an attack. Guanlong's water column intercepted Wu Bingji's ice needle. However, Guanlong realized that his counterattack only served to increase the speed of the ice needle. Suddenly, the ice needle exploded, and Guanlong swiftly dodged. However, he couldn't believe that the ice needle could be controlled in such a manner. On the other side of the battlefield, Gu Li caught up to his opponent, Mu En, who threw a formidable punch. Nevertheless, Gu Li was prepared and manipulated the flow of time to neutralize his opponent's momentum. He then utilized time acceleration to enhance his attack. Mu En was caught off guard and forced into a defensive position. Mu Yunyu swiftly ascended into the sky with Tang San's wind blades in hot pursuit. She unleashed a hypersonic attack, momentarily halting Tang San's momentum. Realizing the magnitude of her control skill, he resolved to prevent her from further utilizing it and promptly detonated his wind blades around her. Mu Yunyu displayed a hint of frustration as she realized her sonic interference had been countered by the sound of the detonating wind blades. At that moment, she altered her strategy. The aura surrounding her surged and split into multiple parts, revealing clones created through the Azure Flame Divergence technique. However, at that precise moment, Tang San signaled Chengzi, and together, they launched an assault using their wind-based techniques, successfully obliterating the 4 clones. Before Mu Yunyu could catch her breath, Chengzi intercepted her with a ferocious attack, igniting her anger and determination. This time, she unleashed her full-powered technique, known as the Song of the Azure Phoenix. Unfortunately, Tang San had already anticipated this move and employed his purple demon eyes, launching a mental attack that disrupted her skill activation. This sudden turn of events left Siru in a state of shock. Finally, Chengzi unleashed the devastating Golden Wings Cloak Slash, propelling Mu Yunyu toward Zhang Hao in defeat. The Song of the Azure Phoenix had resounded, leading Mu En King to believe that the battle had been settled. However, he was taken aback when Mu Yunyu was swiftly defeated in the next instant, leaving him perplexed as to what had transpired. Subsequently, under the relentless assault from Tang San, Gu Li, and Chengzi, the battle came to a decisive end. Guanlong found himself in a challenging battle against Wu Bingji, who proved to be a formidable opponent with his Ice Needle technique. The Ice Needles not only increased in speed, but also had the ability to split, explode, and freeze Guanlong's water attacks, penetrating his defense effortlessly. It was a frustrating experience for Guanlong as he realized Wu Bingji's skills completely suppressed him. Just when Guanlong was struggling to defend himself, Tang San suddenly appeared by his side, interrupting his defense. This unexpected intervention caused Wu Bingji to pause his attack. Zhang Hao, the referee, then declared the fight over, much to the disappointment of the 3 teachers and the astonishment of the watching students at the academy. Zhang Hao took the opportunity to mock Guanlong, questioning whom he had intended to teach a lesson. Angered and ashamed, Guanlong could only retreat. Siru, one of the teachers, pleaded with the mayor to leave Guanlong alone, but Zhang Hao explained that Guanlong was finding it difficult to accept the outcome. It was then that Siru realized the mayor had known the result beforehand and had allowed Guanlong to be bullied. As the 2 men walked away, Siru regretted allowing the mayor to have such an exceptional student. Meanwhile, Zhang Hao approached Tang San and discussed the upcoming coliseum event, urging him to be cautious and reminding him not to show mercy to his enemies. Tang San nodded in understanding and joined his teammates in celebrating their recent victory. In his room, Guanlong sulked, feeling a mix of embarrassment and admiration for the exceptional students, particularly Wu Bingji, whose growth had surpassed his expectations. Furthermore, Guanlong was acutely aware that Tang San was the reason behind their current success. His train of thought was abruptly interrupted when the mayor entered his room, inquiring about his well-being. Initially, Guanlong suspected that Zhang Hao had come to taunt him once again. However, to his surprise, the mayor confessed that he, too, would have been unable to achieve what Guanlong had accomplished. In addition, Zhang Hao asserted that they should take pride in the disciples they had mentored. Following a brief celebration, Tang San gathered his team's attention and emphasized the need to enhance their teamwork. Without hesitation, each member expressed their unwavering commitment to follow Tang San's lead throughout the upcoming week of intensive practice. During their discussion on cooperation, Wu Bingji expressed concern for Dubai, whose true abilities needed to remain concealed. Fortunately, Tang San proposed a solution by suggesting the use of a luck-enhancing blessing prior to the battles in the coliseum. Furthermore, he offered to assist Dubai in acquiring an alternate identity for these battles. Curiosity arose among the group as they pondered how Tang San would accomplish this task. To their surprise, Tang San revealed a set of peculiar discs, which left Dubai perplexed. Tang San proceeded to explain that each disc contained an array that Dubai could utilize to support the team during the battles. However, Tang San emphasized the importance of concealing the discs to maintain the illusion that Dubai was merely an array master, thus deceiving the audience. While examining the discs, Dubai was captivated by Tang San's detailed explanation of their various effects. Tang San also promised to demonstrate how to activate them. The team diligently practiced their skills at the academy grounds, with Guanlong closely observing their attack formation. Wu Bingji possessed the most substantial attack power, while Tang San specialized in long-range attacks. Chengzi, on the other hand, was responsible for airstrikes. As Guanlong observed the team's control over their enemies, he couldn't help but be amazed by their formidable control abilities. However, he continued trying to understand the origin of the array disc that Tang San had supposedly received from Zhang Hao. Late at night, after an intense practice session, the team concluded their training. Dubai, exhausted, collapsed onto the ground, expressing his frustration at the challenges of being the mastermind. Chengzi playfully retorted, suggesting that Dubai's contribution was minimal, comparing him to a mere dandruff who simply stood still. Finally, the day arrived for the team to depart for the coliseum at dawn. Guanlong and Mu Yunyu were present to bid farewell to their students. Guanlong expressed his disappointment at the mayor's absence. Still, Mu Yunyu reassured him that the kids had already demonstrated their strength, and the mayor had complete confidence in their abilities. Upon their arrival, Tang San and his team briefly stayed in the city before proceeding to the coliseum for registration. Tang San was provided with a unique form to complete, as he intended to participate in the 5-man team battle. Furthermore, he was informed of a crucial rule mandating their participation in a minimum of 3 games without withdrawal. Failure to comply would result in their merciless elimination. After careful deliberation, Tang San decided to register his team under the name Shrek. This choice caught the attention of Dubai, who inquired about the meaning behind such an unusual name. In response, Tang San explained that it was an ancient term symbolizing invincibility. However, their team name was met with ridicule and laughter from an elephant monster who happened to be nearby. The elephant monster viewed this name as a display of ignorance on the part of the younger generation and expressed a desire to face the team in battle. Undeterred, Tang San confidently submitted the registration form and turned to confront the elephant monster. Surprisingly, instead of accepting the challenge, Tang San boldly proposed to fight him in the very first match. Initially taken aback by this audacious move, the elephant monster regained his composure upon observing Tang San's unwavering expression. The young boy explained that although they may be weak, they were not afraid. Furthermore, Tang San provoked the elephant monster by insinuating that despite a superior bloodline, the monster was nothing more than a cowardly mouse. Enraged by these words, the elephant monster lost control of his temper. A crimson aura enveloped his body as he launched a ferocious punch towards Tang San. However, his attack was intercepted by the registration clerk, who happened to belong to the formidable Bloodlust Demon Ape clan. As Dubai, Wu Bingji, and the other applicants watched the unfolding situation, the Coliseum official reprimanded the elephant monster and commended Tang San for his courage in entering the team battle despite his perceived inferior status and strength. Following this confrontation, The official urged the elephant monster to refrain from speaking nonsense if he lacked the bravery to back it up. Caught off guard and put on the spot, the elephant monster reluctantly agreed to Tang San's challenge. He promptly exited the registration hall, vowing to return with his brothers to sign up. Meanwhile, the spectators regarded the elephant monster as a coward who lacked the courage to register. Once the incident was resolved, the official instructed Tang San and his team to report to the coliseum. Tang San promptly agreed to lead his team to the coliseum for the first team battle the following morning. Outside, Tang San explained that the elephant monsters would be their initial opponents, as they had accepted their challenge. He emphasized that if the elephant monsters failed to show up, it would cause complications with the coliseum. With this in mind, the team departed, and Tang San discussed the importance of devising a battle strategy now that they knew their opponents. The following day, Dubai appeared fatigued, resembling a zombie due to his insomnia. Dark circles were visible under his eyes. Tang San reassured Dubai that there was nothing to worry about and that he simply needed to follow their tactics. During breakfast, Tang San noticed that Gu Li and Wu Bingji were also suffering from insomnia due to their nerves. Tang San acknowledged that this was the challenge they had to face and reminded them of one crucial fact: their lives and the outcome of the battle depended on their willingness to fight. Wu Bingji's expression turned severe upon hearing these words, while Dubai contemplated the idea of running away. Tang San acknowledged that running away was a viable option, but he cautioned Dubai that he would forever be labeled a coward. When Tang San asked if Dubai still intended to flee, the young boy clenched his teeth with determination and firmly denied it. Tang San then urged him to gather his courage and reminded him that he would not have to fight until everyone else was defeated. With this, Dubai's spirits lifted, and he became filled with excitement for the upcoming fight. Everyone shared the same sentiment as they made their way towards the coliseum. Upon arrival, they were greeted by the official, who expressed relief that they hadn't attempted to escape and informed them that their march was about to commence. Tang San questioned why their team hadn't been stopped from leaving, to which the bloodlust demon ape explained that those who escaped would be added to the coliseum's wanted list and would be enslaved once captured. Subsequently, the team was led through the dimly lit halls of the coliseum, eventually reaching the exit that led to the arena. As they approached the gate, Tang San and his team were instructed to wait until their team was called up. While Dubai found himself enveloped in a somber atmosphere, Tang San urged him to step forward, emphasizing that it was time to bestow the team with the blessing of luck. Dubai complied with the request, but his nerves got the best of him, causing his attempt to fail. At that moment, Tang San reminded him of the dire consequences that even the slightest mistake on the battlefield could bring, potentially leading to the team's destruction. These words struck a chord with Dubai, prompting him to smack himself and summon a fierce determination. He activated his blessing of luck while reciting a personal mantra that allowed only success. A small yet radiant avatar of a two-tailed heavenly fox materialized above Dubai's head, and brilliant white energy enveloped the bodies of his teammates. Dubai expressed relief that his attempt had succeeded this time. However, a moment later, he realized that he had forgotten about his ability to predict favorable and unfavorable events. Sheepishly, he admitted that there was nothing to fear on that particular occasion. When Guli inquired about Dubai's statement, Dubai assured him that they would ultimately defeat their enemies. His words brought a sense of calm to everyone, except for Tang San, who was disappointed because he had hoped to test everyone's mental abilities in this tense atmosphere. Unfortunately, that opportunity had passed. At that moment, Tang San regretted not having expelled Dubai from the team. Shortly after, the Coliseum official returned and announced that it was their team's turn to enter the arena. In response, Team Shrek confidently stepped forward, each member donning a domino mask to conceal their identities. This surprised the bloodlust demon ape, as he had never witnessed a team entering the Coliseum arena with such ease. As Team Shrek entered the Coliseum arena, they were greeted by thunderous cheers from the audience, accompanied by a cascade of confetti in the air. However, they also sensed a foreboding presence and a pungent odor. The majority of the audience consisted of monster races, eagerly anticipating the spectacle. Upon realizing that Team Shrek was composed of human vassals, they wondered if the young participants were frightened to the point of losing control of their bodily functions. On the opposing side of the arena stood a team of elephant monsters led by a towering figure who was considered a 9th-ranked powerhouse. The commentator expressed skepticism about Team Shrek's chances, citing the formidable defensive capabilities of the elephant monsters. Before the commencement of the impending battle, Tang San, the astute strategist, diligently reiterated the importance of adhering to their preconceived plans. A hushed expectancy enveloped the arena as, in a synchronized gesture, the commentators signaled the initiation of the impending contest. It was at this precise juncture that the formidable elephant monster team surged forward with an explicit intention to obliterate their adversaries into an unrecognizable pulp beneath their massive feet. The vanguard of this onslaught was led by Dugu, who, with decisive swiftness, set his array disc into motion, thereby bestowing an instantaneous augmentation upon the collective might of Team Shrek. Meanwhile, the elephant monster team captain, exuding an aura of unwavering confidence, asserted that the opponent's stratagems were feeble in the face of absolute power. With this proclamation, he activated a unique skill intrinsic to his race, the formidable war trampling. Seizing the opportunity, Team Shrek's assault force orchestrated a simultaneous counterattack. Tang San summoned a fierce tornado, Gu Li invoked the power of temporal stasis through time freeze, and Wu Bingji harnessed his freezing ability. The consequence was a significant disruption in the elephant monster's offensive capabilities. As the elephant monster captain grappled with the unexpected turn of events, his equilibrium was shattered, quite literally, as his form slipped unceremoniously on the arena's thin sheet of ice. In the ensuing disarray, Wu Bingji skillfully directed a volley of ice needles, successfully diverting the attention of the behemoth opponents. Nevertheless, the elephant monsters, in an attempt to shield themselves from the impending assault, found their efforts impeded by Gu Li's deployment of a grandiose control ability, the group time freeze. The resultant deceleration in the elephant monster's reaction time provided an auspicious moment for the ice needles to penetrate the ocular defenses of one of the colossal creatures with heightened velocity. Without a moment's hesitation, Wu Bingji, displaying remarkable finesse, activated his Ice Blast skill. In the blink of an eye, the ice-laden needles lodged within the skulls of the elephant monsters erupted with a resounding detonation, leaving the audience in stunned silence. Even the seasoned commentator, typically garrulous, found himself momentarily at a loss for words as he proclaimed the defeat of 2 8th-ranked and 2 7th-ranked elephant monsters, renowned for their impregnable defensive prowess. The unfolding battle spectacle was nothing short of awe-inspiring. In an unexpected turn, Wu Bingji stood in stunned silence, gazing at the aftermath of his collaboration with teammates, realizing that the amalgamation of their skills had reached an unprecedented pinnacle. Beside him, Tang San, the strategic mind, extended congratulations to Wu Bingji for his pivotal role in the triumph. Amidst the aftermath, the captain of the elephant monster team emerged as the lone survivor. With a determined effort, the captain hoisted his massive frame back onto his feet, only to be met with the harrowing sight of his fallen comrades. Shock and disbelief etched across his face. He succumbed to a berserk rage, vehemently denying the grim reality. Driven by this denial, he charged ferociously at Team Shrek, vowing to trample them all beneath his colossal feet, activating the formidable elephant armor technique. In response to the raging elephant onslaught, Chengzi descended from the skies, engaging the captain head-on. Chengzi executed the Golden Wings Dapeng Cut, but the attack appeared futile against the relentless charge of the elephant monster. Undeterred, the captain closed the distance, activating the war trampling skill. Observing this problematic moment, Dubai timely deployed the second array disc, teleporting away with agility, narrowly evading the impending trampling. To their opponent's bewilderment, the teleportation left the elephant monster momentarily disoriented. Seizing this opportune moment, Tang San and Wu Bingji surged towards their opponent's exposed back. In a swift and coordinated assault, Tang San leaped over the monster's head, leaving behind a trail of 2 ice needles. Thanks to Gu Li's intervention, the elephant monster's reaction was slowed, allowing the ice needles to pierce its eyes. As Tang San landed on the creature's back, he delivered a devastating blow while taking advantage of the opportunity to absorb its bloodline. The potency of this bloodline was formidable, and Tang San, while absorbing the overwhelming energy, skillfully wielded his mental power to control it. He was unable to reach the 7th rank peak due to his current circumstances. With the defeat of their final adversary, Tang San stood triumphantly on the fallen monster's corpse. A moment of brief pause ensued before the entire arena erupted into chaos. The astonishing feat accomplished by Team Shrek left onlookers in disbelief. For many, it stood as the most extraordinary victory ever witnessed by human combatants. Fortunately, the initial shock morphed into a cacophony of cheers as the crowd heralded Team Shrek's inaugural triumph, eagerly anticipating their next team skirmish. An unsettling silence enveloped the departing members of Team Shrek, shrouded in disbelief at the reality of their victory. Dubai, trembling with an electrifying excitement, reveled in the prospect of openly and honestly dispatching monsters, a thrill he found undeniably exhilarating. Wu Bingji extended his thanks to Tang San, who in return lauded the former for his commendable efforts. Taking advantage of the moment, Tang San asserted that their readiness for the previous match had been a critical factor. However, he soberly cautioned that the road ahead would be far from easy, especially with their next adversary, a formidable opponent who had also emerged victorious in the preceding round. Despite the daunting challenge, the team remained steadfast in their commitment to unwavering diligence. The coliseum official, approaching with genuine surprise painted across his features, expressed admiration for the unexpected strength exhibited by these human vessels. Following this sincere acknowledgement, he requested Team Shrek's presence, outlining the condition that they could not depart until securing 3 consecutive victories. In the confines of a specialized contestant room, the team engaged in a brief meeting before seeking individual repose. Dubai succumbed to a well-deserved slumber, while Tang San delved into meditation to attain peak condition. On the following day, the Coliseum official returned to guide Team Shrek to their second match. The Coliseum buzzed with heightened excitement as the team finally took center stage in the arena. Even the monster races in the audience joined in jubilant cheers for this formidable assembly of human vassals. Despite the commentator's attempt to undermine the mood by referencing past human dreams of nobility that failed, Tang San encouraged his comrades to demonstrate their worth through actions, dismissing the effort to sow discord. As the crowd anxiously awaited the outcome, the veil lifted to reveal Team Shrek's next adversaries, the Bloody Slaughter team, led by a one-eyed giant monster wielding an enormous cudgel. Gu Li, intrigued by the leader's lineage, was caught in contemplation, the air heavy with the scent of cultivation. Yet, Tang San's attention was drawn to a red fox demon and 3 deer demons, each possessing formidable mental strength. At that moment, Tang San discerned that Team Shrek had become the focal point of a calculated strategy. He turned to Dubai, urging him to hold steady until the signal was given, cautioning against premature movements. With the impending battle looming, Tang San warned the team to be vigilant against the impending shockwave, meticulously assigning roles for the upcoming confrontation. Cheng Zi, designated to assail the deer demons, would also serve as the keen observer of the adversary's tactics. With the signal marking the commencement of the battle, the deer demons seemed to synchronize their abilities, invoking an unknown technique that cast an eerie, combined aura across the arena. In an abrupt realization, Wu Bingji found himself unable to sense the presence of the ice element. Tang San, too, experienced a disturbing absence of the element, prompting him to identify the adversary's technique as elemental stripping, a nefarious move aimed at robbing Wu Bingji of his combat prowess. Amidst the unfolding chaos, the one-eyed giant, with the fox demon perched on his shoulder, charged forward. Gu Li, unwavering in determination, alongside Cheng Zi, rushed forward to intercept the formidable opponent. As Cheng Zi closed in on the deer demons, the red fox demon issued instructions to the one-eyed giant, and in a synchronous motion, they both turned. The red fox demon gracefully leaped from the giant's back while the latter unleashed a shockwave from its singular eyeball, targeting Cheng Zi. Simultaneously, the 3 deer demons released a coordinated mental assault, leaving Cheng Zi disoriented and vulnerable midair. In the midst of the skirmish, Wu Bingji astutely discerned that their opponents were orchestrating a concerted effort to neutralize Cheng Zi first. With a swift descent, Cheng Zi plummeted from the sky, only to be intercepted by the red demon fox, who seized the opportunity to deliver a potentially lethal blow. Undeterred, Tang San, the master tactician, maintained his composure and signaled Dubai to activate the array disk, orchestrating a teleportation that strategically placed himself and Wu Bingji right in front of the unsuspecting deer demons. Caught off guard, the deer demons faltered before mounting a reaction. Wu Bingji, defying the effects of elemental stripping, bit his finger and conjured a blood ice needle, launching simultaneous attacks against the deer demons. The elemental stripping, unraveling under this onslaught, allowed Zichang to shield her body with her wings, effectively countering her opponent's advances. Simultaneously, the one-eyed giant bellowed in frustration and hurled his cudgel toward the adversaries, unleashing a powerful shockwave. Undeterred, Tang San harnessed his control over the wind element, conjuring a whirlwind that not only deflected the weapon's trajectory, but also redirected it toward the deer demons. Wu Bingji's skillful manipulation of ice materialized an impervious wall that blocked the shockwave aimed directly at Gu Li. Meanwhile, the last remaining deer demon met its demise in a spectacular explosion caused by an ice needle striking its head. With the shackles of elemental stripping lifted, Wu Bingji seized the opportunity to unleash his full power upon the giant who blindly charged at him. In a defiant retort, Wu Bingji silenced the giant and condensed another ice needle, launching it with unwavering determination. The one-eyed giant caught off guard and attempted to block the incoming attack, but the relentless ice needle pierced through his feeble defenses, impaling his head. In a lighthearted moment, Dubai playfully suggested that Wu Bingji's future nickname should be the Headshot Maniac. Simultaneously, in another corner of the arena, Gu Li, employing her mastery over time, collaborated with Cheng Zi to cleave the final opponent's chest in half. With this decisive move, the battle reached its climax, leaving the monster races in the audience dumbfounded. Team Shrek had once again emerged victorious. Seizing the pretext of inspecting the defeated opponents, Tang San opportunistically absorbed the bloodline power emanating from the fallen deer monsters. As Team Shrek gracefully exited the stage, a wave of awkwardness washed over Wu Bingji, courtesy of the newfound nickname chanted by the audience, Headshot. The moniker, though unappealing to Wu Bingji, lingered in the air as they retreated. Indoors, Dubai, ever the jester, playfully asserted that the nickname Headshot Maniac served as a potent and intangible deterrent. Tang San, ever the shrewd negotiator, was open to discussing the offer for an exchange, considering the potential trade. The coliseum official, in turn, dangled information about their next opponents as a bargaining chip. However, Tang San, maintaining his resolve, declined the offer, prompting the official to smirk arrogantly, asserting that the choice of Team Shrek's next opponents rested solely with them. In a counteroffer, Tang San proposed a condition. He would only hand over the disc arrays if the Coliseum officials could guarantee victory in all 10 matches. The official swiftly declined, citing that such an arrangement was against the rules. Unfazed, Tang San declared that further discussion was unnecessary. Hence, he could not surrender their arrays. The official warning of potential regret in the future was met with Tang San's stoic response. The discs would be handed over only if they were alive to do so. Tang San, demonstrating unwavering determination, emphasized that if their lives were ever threatened, they would destroy the discs and face the consequences, even if it meant their demise. The bloodlust demon ape, frustrated by Tang San's unwavering stance, departed, leaving the team to contemplate the implications of their decisions. Wu Bingji, seeking clarity, inquired if they were being targeted, to which Tang San affirmed. However, he reassured the team that the officials would uphold the Coliseum rules, and as long as they kept winning, there should be no issues. Wu Bingji proposed a strategic discussion, suggesting they gather in one room to plan for the upcoming battle. On the following day, as Team Shrek prepared for their third battle, the official returned with a suggestion to delay the match, hinting at potential benefits for the Coliseum. Tang San, after brief consideration, informed the team that they were in for a tough fight, cautioning them to be prepared, as the opponents would likely target their teleportation discs. Disguised with domino masks, Team Shrek entered the arena amid the cheers of the monster race's new fans, eager to witness the prowess of their favorite headshot team. The announcer revealed their opponents, the Scarlet Streamer team comprised of leopard monsters. Dubai identified the leader as a flash leopard, but Tang San contested this, with Wu Bingji correcting that the leader belonged to the golden leopard monster race with a golden bloodline. With suspicions confirmed and expectations set, Tang San assigned roles for the upcoming battle. Guli would slow the leopard's speed, Dubai would initiate teleportation, and Wu Bingji would amass power as discussed. The match commenced with a signal, and in a surprising turn, the golden leopard swiftly approached Wu Bingji, preparing a devastating attack. Wu Bingji, taken aback by the opponent's speed comparable to teleportation, narrowly avoided an attack, thanks to Dubai's timely teleportation. Capitalizing on the opportunity, Guli manipulated time, freezing the leopard team in place. Wu Bingji, seizing the moment, released an enormous wave of ice mist, enveloping the entire squad and obscuring the vision of the Scarlet Streamer team. The stage was set for a clash between Team Shrek and the formidable leopard monsters. Tang San found himself facing a charging leopard, a formidable adversary with speed and ferocity. The moment hung in the air, pregnant with tension, as the leopard closed in before Tang San could vanish into the encroaching mist. An eruption of violence ensued, a fierce clash where the leopard's attack met the anticipated spot, but an unexpected twist unfolded. In that critical moment, Tang San, instead of relying on the known extent of his abilities, invoked a different bloodline power. The blizzard, an embodiment of his newfound strength, swiftly expanded, swirling intensely in a dance of elemental power. The leopard team stood on the precipice of the blizzard, caught in a dilemma. Should they plunge headlong into the storm, or exercise caution in the face of the enigmatic fog? The audience, growing restless, implored the leopards to take action, discontent with the stillness that persisted at the blizzard's edge. Aware of the expanding danger, the leopard team hesitated, torn between the peril of entering blindly and the urgent need to confront their unseen foe. The golden leopard, sensing the urgency, broke the impasse by releasing his aura and leaping into the swirling chaos. His companions, driven by the leader's bold move, followed suit. Hovering within the blizzard, Tang San radiated a golden aura, observing with satisfaction as the leopard team unwittingly entered his domain. A subtle smile played on his lips, contemplating the opponent's strategic shortcomings that had given Team Shrek ample time to orchestrate a devastating combination attack. Now within their attack range, Tang San resolved not to let any member of the leopard team escape. The golden leopard, however, began to experience the blizzard's relentless onslaught, causing him to struggle and search desperately for the humans concealed within the icy tempest. As he delved deeper into the blizzard, its intensity heightened, revealing a silhouette within, Tang San, seemingly launching a sneak attack. The golden leopard reacted swiftly, claws slashing at the perceived threat, only to realize in the next heartbeat that he had injured a comrade whose body was then shredded by concealed ice blades woven into the snow. Faced with imminent peril, the golden leopard unleashed a wild surge of energy, attempting to break free from the encroaching blizzard, vowing retribution against the elusive humans. At that critical juncture, a voice disrupted his desperate struggle, questioning his intent to flee. Amidst the blizzard's chaos, the golden leopard glimpsed the silhouette of a dark phantom with eyes shining in brilliant purple light, Tang San. The phantom unleashed a mental attack, briefly incapacitating the golden leopard before launching into the air, delivering a crushing blow to the opponent's head. Simultaneously, Tang San absorbed the golden leopard's bloodline energy, rapidly siphoning it away. As he did so, he discerned a unique long-distance teleportation ability within the bloodline, a realization that this opponent had been meticulously selected for them. The golden leopard, fading and defeated, labeled Tang San as the devil before being consumed by the blizzard. As the fog dissipated, only Team Shrek stood triumphant. In the arena, the monster races in the audience watched with bated breath as the figures of Team of Five re-emerged. A cacophony of cheers erupted, celebrating their favorite team, the Headshot Team. Amidst the jubilation, Bingji pondered the mystery of how Tang San had managed to dispatch the golden leopard's head with such precision. Upon their return to the coliseum halls, the officials ceremoniously handed over the prize money and inquired about the timing of their fourth match. Tang San, with his usual nonchalance, quipped that their appearance in the arena would depend on their collective mood. Post-interaction, wary of any potential pursuit, the team swiftly changed their attire and covertly slipped into the shrouded embrace of the Kerry Mountains. Only with the veil of nightfall casting its protective shadows did they emerge from their temporary sanctuary. The forested expanse, now enveloped in a mysterious fog, prompted a unanimous decision to seek a place for repose. Tang San casually endorsed the suggestion, initiating the activation of an array disk. His teammates were instructed to follow him closely as he led the way. The fog, like a curtain, parted to reveal the hidden path as they traversed behind Tang San. The enigmatic leader casually disclosed that the area they were approaching was a secret base crafted by their teacher. Soon, they reached what Tang San affectionately termed the Golden Valley, an idyllic realm adorned with verdant foliage and imbued with the essence of qi. Dubai and Bingji found themselves captivated by the beauty of the surroundings, with the latter hailing it as a sacred ground for cultivation. Before they could delve into further contemplation, Tang San proposed a visit to their teacher. Locating the mayor, Tang San was asked to take a well-deserved rest before being summoned for a private conversation. During their private discourse, the mayor provided Tang San with an account of his encounters with the organization, emphasizing their demand for his return to facilitate his breakthrough to the god level. Tang San acknowledged the predictability of such a request, but insisted on Zhang Hao achieving his ascent to the god level before reporting back to the headquarters. Zhang Hao sought Tang San's guidance on the feasibility of breaking through above the sea. In response, Tang San reminded him of the lingering doubts concerning the revival of the Golden Tree. Despite feeling like a passenger on a pirate ship, Zhang Hao reluctantly agreed to abide by Tang San's counsel. He was instructed to wait until Tang San achieved the 8th rank, ensuring more confidence and practical assistance in the future. Expressing the urgency of his predicament due to the uncontrollable surge of power, Zhang Hao implored Tang San to exercise caution. Unfazed, Tang San assured him of a swift breakthrough to the 8th rank during the night. Zhang Hao's words of caution lingered as the Red Fox girls materialized, enthusiastically welcoming Tang San back to the valley. Dubai, seemingly bewildered by the sudden appearance of these beauties, questioned whether he had stumbled into Wonderland. Gu Li, too, couldn't hide his surprise at the sight of the enchanting girls. Tang San, the strategic planner, assessed their cultivation levels and promised an outing once they all reached the 4th rank. Amidst the animated conversation, one of the girls couldn't contain her enthusiasm about being in the company of her master. However, the lively exchange came to an abrupt halt as Dubai interjected, wearing an almost bashful expression. He turned to Tang San, sheepishly requesting an introduction to the girls. Tang San, the patient mentor, provided a brief overview of their origins, which left Dubai unable to conceal his genuine excitement. In a cheerful tone, Dubai playfully suggested that Tang San must be the reincarnation of some divine being, attributing it to the wholesome beauty of the Golden Valley. Zhang Hao, moved by a sense of duty, pledged to safeguard Tang San as he ventured into the challenging breakthrough to the 8th rank. Positioned under the majestic golden tree, Tang San immersed himself in meditation, absorbing the tree's life energy. Zhang Hao, keenly aware of Tang San's prolonged suppression of the breakthrough, speculated about the impending commencement of this crucial phase. Tang San's body resonated with a surge of pure life energy, surprising even Mayor Zhang, who questioned if Tang San had already achieved the breakthrough, marveling at the seemingly effortless process. Tang San had ascended to the 8th rank with unparalleled ease, leaving Zhang Hao profoundly impressed and conceding with a sigh to the unpredictable nature of the boy's potential. Following the breakthrough, Tang San continued his meditative trance, opting to integrate the war trampling technique by assimilating the bloodline of the 9th-ranked elephant demon. As the day descended towards dusk, Tang San opened his eyes, bringing an end to his meditative state. Zhang Hao, still astounded by the seamless breakthrough, theorized that the diligent accumulation of power must have played a significant role. Tang San concurred, revealing that his teacher would undergo a similar experience, having suppressed his cultivation for an extended period. Anticipating Zhang Hao's eagerness to proceed with the breakthrough by the sea, Tang San urged patience, advising his teacher to absorb the life energy beneath the golden tree first. He emphasized the importance of saturating his body for a more effective breakthrough. Concerned about the potential risks, Zhang Hao voiced his worries about exploding, prompting Tang San's reassurance that he would be there to safeguard him. Soon, Zhang Hao commenced absorbing the life energy. Whenever the process threatened to spiral out of control, Tang San utilized his divine consciousness to quell the turmoil, enabling his teacher to accumulate a substantial reservoir of life energy. After 3 days of intense absorption, Zhang Hao reached his limit. Tang San, extending his hand towards him, lifted his teacher, propelling them across the ocean. In the course of their journey, dolphins gracefully danced across the water's surface. While Zhang Hao was in his bloated state, his certainty grew that a self-detonation was imminent. Amidst his growing unease, he detected an unusual hush settling over the sea. To his shock, he observed myriad sea creatures floating on the surface, their watchful gaze fixed upon the duo, revealing an unsettling and mysterious presence. A profound sense of astonishment washed over him as he came to the realization that the sea creatures surrounding them numbered too many for him to fathom. Tang San, attuned to the same observation, unleashed a resonant whistle through his divine consciousness, prompting the myriad sea creatures beneath to vanish beneath the surface gracefully. The mayor, ever watchful, inquired whether Tang San was a sea demon. Reassuring the mayor, Tang San affirmed his humanity, offering to explain the enigma of his deep connection with the sea once his teacher completed the awaited breakthrough. Tang San released Zhang Hao, who hovered mid-air at his behest, urging him to commence the breakthrough. As a torrent of energy surged forth from Zhang Hao's form, Tang San, with a keen eye, absorbed the spectacle, aspiring to unravel the intricacies of the world's rules. In the ensuing moments, Tang San observed the gathering dark clouds descending upon his teacher. A resolute roar emanated from Zhang Hao as a majestic silhouette, that of a golden lion, materialized above him. The lion's forehead gleamed with radiant golden light as Zhang Hao faced the celestial baptism of thunder, weathering it with unwavering determination. This revelation led Tang San to comprehend that, in this realm, the tempering of one's body through the heavenly thunder was an imperative step in the journey toward godlike strength. The ethereal golden lion, the embodiment of Zhang Hao's strength, exhaled a golden flame, mending Zhang Hao's scorched physique before the subsequent thunderous baptism ensued. Tang San, observing the interplay between heaven thunder baptism and bloodline evolution, discerned that these harrowing trials paved the way to raise one's cultivation to the god level, deeming it a harsh but essential crucible for breakthroughs. The pulsation of his spiritual core hinted at a breakthrough, a moment Tang San concealed within the embrace of the sea, resolute in eluding the Lord of the Plain's scrutiny. Aware that the thunderbolts were intertwined with the will of the Lord of the Plain, Tang San watched as Zhang Hao's endurance of the thunder shifted from reluctant acceptance to an emotional embrace as he willingly sought the thunder's onslaught. The bolts relentlessly struck him until he questioned the adequacy of his accumulation. Fortuitously, as the thunderstorm weakened, Tang San offered assurance and vowed to replenish Zhang Hao's life energy should he descend into the sea. Subsequently, Zhang Hao succumbed to the forceful lightning, sinking into the sea. At the same time, Tang San played the role of a passive observer, yearning for the heavenly thunder to ignore his existence. Infusing his teacher's body with life energy, Tang San kindled the hope that Zhang Hao's breakthrough would indeed culminate in success. Tang San found himself gripped by astonishment as he beheld another formidable surge of lightning energy coalescing in the heavens, A dawning realization seized him. He had been detected. Zhang Hao, breaking the surface of the sea, gazed upward in disbelief as bolts of lightning descended toward him. In a calculated move, Tang San willed himself to descend further into the ocean, a silent apology resonating within him as the lightning struck his unconscious teacher. As Zhang Hao's body drifted beneath the ocean's surface, tranquility returned to the sky above the sea. Tang San, sighing with relief, carefully retrieved his teacher and gently laid him on the ground. The thunder tribulation had unmistakably targeted him after he released a fragment of his divine consciousness. Observing his teacher's vulnerable state, Tang San contemplated the looming trouble and the impending tribulation he would have to face alone. Determined, he began formulating countermeasures. Reflecting on his past experiences, Tang San mused that traversing the transcendent tribulation on his ascent to godhood had been comparatively straightforward. Gazing into the sky, he discerned the Lord of the Plains supporting the creatures of his planet to ascend further, speculating that the ultimate goal was for the realm itself to evolve into a god realm. However, the delayed occurrence of this transformation raised questions. Curiosity propelled Tang San to contemplate hidden dangers within that plane. Mysteries he was compelled to unravel to overcome the transcending tribulation and ascend to godhood. As the evening descended, Zhang Hao regained consciousness, harboring doubts about whether the lightning had claimed his life. Tang San reassured him of his vitality, eliciting profound shock from his teacher. Subsequently, Zhang Hao meditated beneath the golden tree, absorbing life energy to replenish his vitality, swiftly restoring himself to peak physical condition. Upon concluding his meditation, Zhang Hao released his energy, summoning the silhouette of a golden lion behind him. The surprising success of his breakthrough propelled him into a new realm of power. Congratulatory words flowed from Tang San, Dubai, and Wu Bingji, with Dubai contemplating when he would reach the god level. Tang San, advising patience, acknowledged Dubai's sentiments, and noted the satisfying aspects of cultivating in the Golden Valley. At this juncture, Tang San rallied his team to cultivate within the valley before the impending team battle. He assigned Dubai the ambitious goal of breaking through to the 6th rank while encouraging Gu Li to aim for the 7th level. Following a period of rest, they returned to the coliseum, where their 4th battle awaited, surrounded by burgeoning popularity and eager spectators from the human race in Carry City, all anticipating Team Shrek's upcoming match. The buzz about the team's prowess spread swiftly throughout the city, arousing excitement among the human vassals who eagerly awaited the unfolding spectacle. The Coliseum swelled with masses of humanity, its vast space pulsating with anticipation. The streets, typically trodden by the downtrodden and enslaved, now teemed with citizens who flocked to witness the spectacle. For Team Shrek, bearers of a flicker of hope that had ignited in the eyes of the oppressed, the collective prayers of the populace became a fervent anthem. Guanlong, perched at an elevated vantage, gazed upon the city below, stirred by the unprecedented unity of the human race. A flame kindled within him, a fervor to combat oppression and uphold the dawn of hope that beckoned. The forthcoming match held significance not merely in terms of victory or defeat, but as a herald of newfound optimism. Before Team Shrek entered the arena, the bloodlust demon ape, a figure of authority, imparted solemn words to them. The high regard they held in the hearts of the enslaved citizens was emphasized, urging Team Shrek to secure victory lest they disappoint the hopeful masses. In the arena's shadow, disguised faces veiled the valiant resolve as Team Shrek stepped forth. The resonant cheers of the audience swelled into a thunderous crescendo, echoing the undying spirit of the human race. Through the purple demon eyes, Tang San discerned the words of encouragement and passion that poured forth from the human vassals. Their fervent cries touched the core of Tang San's being, and his eyes glowed with unwavering determination. On the opposing side of the arena, the adversaries materialized, led by an earth demon bull, a formidable entity among the 8 strongest races in the empire. Tang San discerned the red-crowned crane demon with a quasi-first-level bloodline, a creature of exceptional intelligence and innate weapon mastery, positioned strategically behind the earth demon bull. Flanking them were 2 blue fox monsters, adept in mental prowess, poised to provide support. Tang San, astute in his analysis, perceived the opponent's lineup as a targeted assault on their strengths, signaling the arduous nature of the impending battle. Wu Bingji proposed deploying the blizzard, but Tang San, speculating on the Earth Demon Bull's totemic ability to disperse, dismissed the idea. He allocated himself to confront the red-crowned crane demon, while instructing Wu Bingji and others to engage the remaining foes. As the battle ensued, the Earth Demon Bulls charged with their totems, the red-crowned crane demon soared into the air, and the ensuing clash unfolded. Tang San signaled Wu Bingji, whose cascade of ice needles met resistance as the Earth Demon Bull deftly deflected the onslaught with its totem, confirming Tang San's strategic foresight. Simultaneously, Wu Bingji engaged the blue foxes, adhering to Tang San's tactical directive. The red-crowned crane demon, however, launched a direct assault on Wu Bingji, only to find its advance thwarted by Tang San's intervention. The impact resonated through the arena, forcing Tang San to acknowledge the formidable strength of his adversary, who tactically retreated. In the midst of the battle, Wu Bingji's initial assault had finally reached the blue demon foxes. However, one of them activated a stealth ability and jumped onto the back of the earth demon bull, causing a sudden surge of energy. This remarkable enhancement caught Tang San's attention, as he observed that the two earth demon bulls would almost reach the 9th rank once their powers were amplified. Realizing that their adversaries had been meticulously chosen to counter them, swiftly charged toward Team Shrek, prompting Changzi and Wu Bingji to intervene and block their path. Gu Li utilized his time acceleration ability to enhance Wu Bingji's movements, empowering him to wield a spear and thrust it toward his opponent. Despite the spear's increased speed due to Gu Li's time attribute, the Earth Demon Bull managed to deflect the attack, transforming it into numerous ice needles that relentlessly advanced toward the opponent. Just as the Demon Bull was unable to block the final ice needle, a shield abruptly materialized, neutralizing the assault. Wu Bingji immediately recognized it as the Blue Fox shield of the Blue Fox clan. Nevertheless, he remained determined to impede his opponent's progress and conjured a substantial block of ice in front of them, buying Tang San a precious moment to confront the red-crowned crane. As they engaged in combat, Tang San's adversary gradually grew frustrated. He pondered the peculiarities of the human before him, whose weapon possessed a smashing attribute and the ability to unleash wind attacks. Furthermore, he was vexed by Tang San's elusive footwork, which prevented his sword energy from effectively targeting the human vessel. The audience, however, marveled at Tang San's exceptional combat skills. Changzi found herself facing one of the formidable demon bulls, whose previous strike with the totem had forcefully pushed her back. It became evident to her that her opponent possessed overwhelming strength, and she realized that exerting too much effort would risk damaging her delicate wings. Not far from her, Wu Bingji shared her frustration as his adversary proved impervious to his ice walls and blasts. Adding to his concern, his opponent's cultivation had reached the formidable 9th rank. Wu Bingji understood that if his opponent closed the distance between them, it would spell inevitable defeat. Gu Li too faced a similar predicament. Despite his advantage in controlling time, he struggled to keep his opponent at bay. Nevertheless, he gritted his teeth with unwavering determination and charged forward for a direct assault. Wu Bingji, witnessing Gu Li's courageous move, swiftly conjured a shield in an attempt to intercept the incoming attack aimed at his teammate. The resulting impact sent Gu Li flying, prompting Wu Bingji to charge head-on towards his opponent, brandishing an ice spear. The demon bull found amusement in the young boy's audacity to engage in a close-quarters battle. In response, he forcefully slammed the totem pole into the ground, effortlessly dispersing Wu Bingji's attack. Frustration consumed him as the shockwave interrupted his assault, leaving him unable to react swiftly enough. His opponents launched a counterattack. Fortunately, Changzi swiftly whisked him out of harm's way, leaving her opponent to rush toward the injured Gu Li. Dubai panicked, wondering why things had taken a sudden turn for the worse as the demon bull closed in on its victim. In that desperate moment, Wu Bingji realized that they would be systematically destroyed. But he was determined not to let that happen. Suddenly a change came over him, and he grimly asked Changzi to release him. Once freed, Wu Bingji's aura erupted, and his heart filled with unwavering determination to salvage the situation. It was at that moment that Changzi realized Wu Bingji had resorted to sacrificing his bloodline. Right then, Wu Bingji conjured an ice cube around Gu Li, shielding him from the impact of the totem. Dubai was impressed by the unexpected durability of the ice cubes, but Wu Bingji conjured another one. As Changzi observed Wu Bingji's desperate fight to keep them all alive, she was reminded of the first time they had met. She felt a deep attraction towards him, seeing a gentle, powerful, and helpful senior at the academy who was now sacrificing his bloodline. At that moment, Changzi feared the worst, and tears welled up in her eyes as she witnessed Wu Bingji's vitality rapidly diminishing. He emitted an immense amount of energy as he shouted with unwavering determination. The red-crowned crane demon noticed the sudden change and overheard the demon bull instructing their teammates to focus their attacks on Wu Bingji, whose power had become terrifyingly strong. In the aftermath, a demon bull executed a coordinated maneuver, propelling his partner into the heavens, bestowing upon him an aerial advantage as he ascended toward his intended target. In a reflexive response, Changzi's form erupted in a torrent of potent energy, hurtling towards her adversary in a cyclonic whirl. Regrettably, her assault met with a stubborn defense, leading to a forceful repulsion that sent her sprawling, a crimson spatter staining the air as she expelled a mouthful of blood. Simultaneously, Wu Bingji's aura surged, a manifestation of his wrath, as he unleashed an attack christened the Ice Spear of Death. Swiftly his foes succumbed to the glacial embrace, transforming into frozen sculptures upon the arena floor. Meanwhile, Gu Li intervened, manipulating time to cradle Chengxi and mitigate her descent, rendering her vulnerable as her transformation unraveled on the ground. Descending with measured exhaustion, Wu Bingji grappled with his breath, having delivered yet another chilling onslaught. The lone surviving demon bull, witnessing the instantaneous obliteration of his comrades, succumbed to a fiery rage, charging recklessly toward the staggered Wu Bingji. Seizing the opportune moment, Gu Li arrested time, allowing Wu Bingji to evade. At the same time, Gu Li, heeding the teachings of Tang San, launched a vicious assault with his tail, executing the disorder-splitting windhammer technique. Gu Li propelled his adversary towards the frozen remnants of his fallen partner, seeking to exploit the chaos. Yet, just before impact, the ice block shimmered with an ethereal glow, detonating upon collision. Wu Bingji, grappling with the aftermath of his ice blast, gasped for breath, reassured by Gu Li's supportive intervention. Dubai, contemplating the fate of his teammates, prepared to utilize the Ascension Array disc to restore their waning bloodline power. However, an ominous foreboding gripped him, and fear coursed through his veins as he turned to observe Tang San in the throes of a dangerous encounter. The red-crowned demon crane, fueled by the destruction of his comrades, brandished his sword with unbridled determination, lunging forth to pierce Tang San's vulnerable form. Dubai, armed with the purple demon eyes, unleashed a potent mental assault, briefly halting the crane demon in his tracks. Infuriated by the interference, the crane demon redoubled his resolve, swearing vehemently to exterminate each member of Team Shrek. Undeterred, he resumed his sword thrust. Yet Tang San, unbeknownst to his anxious teammates, bore the prowess of a former deity honed over millennia, with reflexes that mirrored godlike precision. His stoic expression persisted, shrouding his teammates in anxious uncertainty, unaware of the depths of Tang San's divine capabilities. In a swift, decisive motion, Tang San elevated his right hand, seizing the oncoming sword blade with unwavering precision. A momentary surprise flickered across the countenance of the red-crowned demon crane, replaced almost instantly by a sinister grin. He questioned the audacity of Tang San's act, contemplating the recklessness that prompted him to grasp the sword with such audacity. Seizing this apparent opening, the crane unleashed a torrent of sword energy, intending to crush Tang San's internal organs in a relentless assault. However, in the ensuing moments, a disturbing realization dawned upon the crane. Tang San's expression, unfazed and stoic, remained unchanged as he maintained his grip on the blade. Puzzled, the demon crane couldn't comprehend the vanishing act of the sword energy that should have permeated Tang San's body. Tang San's grasp on the weapon tightened, and to the crane's astonishment, he felt his bloodline power swiftly draining away. Caught in a state of disbelief, the crane witnessed a fiery red hammer ascend above Tang San, ominously descending with lethal intent, leaving a crimson trail in its wake. The unfolding spectacle sent shockwaves through the audience, prompting even Dubai to recoil at the unforeseen turn of events. Tang San's method of execution was anything but straightforward, employing the mysterious jade hands to grip the longsword, the power of the 9th-ranked elephant demon to nullify the sword's energy, and subsequently utilizing his transmission power to disperse a formidable wave of sword energy. Penetrating the crane's body, Tang San then invoked the bloodline devouring ability, the mysterious heaven method, culminating in the coup de grace delivered by the heaven-breaking hammer. With this intricate series of maneuvers, Tang San executed a flawless counterkill. His stature ascended in the eyes of the audience, which erupted in cheers for the headshot team, imploring them to dispatch the last opponent incapacitated by the earlier ice blast. Undeterred, the demon bull charged toward Team Shrek, only to be halted by the urgent shouts of the remaining blue demon fox. Seizing the moment, Tang San swung his hammer, shattering the opponent's weapon, and harnessed the centrifugal force to propel the weapon forward. The hammer collided with precision, instantly crushing the opponent's head. In the aftermath, Tang San shifted his attention to the lone surviving female blue demon fox, her desperate pleas for mercy echoing through the arena. Despite her fervent cries, Tang San, wielding the finesse of his windblades, swiftly brought her demise, thereby unceremoniously concluding the match. The momentary lull in the coliseum allowed the commentator, the diverse assembly of monster races, and the passionate human audience to absorb the weight of Team Shrek's triumph, triggering a tumultuous eruption of cheers. A genuine outpouring of emotion fueled the spirited celebration of the human spectators as Team Shrek's hard-earned victory resonated deeply. The entire human contingent erupted in enthusiasm, and the name Shrek reverberated within the Coliseum, etching a new chapter in the history of victorious teams. This day marked a historic moment, with Team Shrek etching their names into the collective consciousness of Carrie City, becoming synonymous with unity and triumph. In the aftermath of the exhilarating match, Tang San led his team back to the tranquil embrace of the Golden Valley, where the abundant life energy of the Golden Tree facilitated the healing of their battle-worn bodies. Even Wu Bingji, who had harnessed the volatile power of his life force, experienced an accelerated recovery process, diligently ensuring the well-being of every team member. Tang San shared the details of their intense battle with Zhang Hao, emphasizing the resounding response from the human race. However, Zhang Hao harbored concerns about potential suppression from authorities if the humans exhibited too much unity. In response, Tang San reassured him, asserting that, for the time being, the coliseum relied on Team Shrek for revenue, affording them a protective shield. As half a month whisked by, the team's injuries healed, and the crucible of the fierce battle prompted each member of Team Shrek to undergo profound growth and transformation. Wu Bingji, despite the temporary regression in cultivation pace due to the substantial burning of life force, found a silver lining in this symbiotic process. The act of burning vitality concurrently purged impurities from his blood, and with the nourishment of the Golden Tree, a complete restoration of his cultivation seemed inevitable. Upon their return to the Golden Valley, Dubai entered a solitary meditation, signaling his intent to break through into the 6th rank. Chengzhi diligently pursued the pinnacle of the 7th rank. At the same time, Gu Li successfully achieved a breakthrough to the 7th rank, resulting in the stabilization of his time acceleration, time reversal, and time freezing abilities. On the other hand, Tang San dedicated his time to studying the Black Sword, a valuable spoils of war he had acquired from the 9th rank Red-Crowned Crane Demon. He soon realized that in terms of sheer power, the sword surpassed his trusty hammer. While they were staying in the valley, Zhang Hao informed the team that despite their newfound fame, the authorities had not taken any action to suppress the humans, just as Tang San had predicted. Tang San pointed out that this was the ideal situation, as it meant they could continue participating in team battles without interference. Zhang Hao added that the Redemption Organization's headquarters had stopped pressuring him for reports on his work. This prompted Zhang Hao to inquire about when he would receive training on array discs. Tang San responded by sharing his idea, which involved Zhang Hao and Siru. He proposed establishing a teleportation array for safety purposes. When Zhang Hao asked for more details, Tang San explained that he envisioned a mid-range teleportation array. However, he emphasized that due to the increased risk of exposure for the Academy during team battles, an emergency escape route was necessary. Zhang Hao became excited about the idea, and Tang San clarified that his concept was akin to a large-scale array disk. It would require significant resources, but Zhang Hao assured him that obtaining the necessary materials would be fine. He swiftly departed to gather the resources, leaving Tang San to notice a sudden change in the energy fluctuations in the area. It became evident to him that Dubai was on the verge of a breakthrough. He hurried towards Dubai, only to discover that the latter had conjured a grand silhouette of a two-tailed, heavenly fox. The presence of this manifestation had caused a profound shift in the life energy of the entire valley. It was at this moment that Tang San realized it would be best for him not to interfere with Dubai's breakthrough, as the success of the process relied solely on the boy. During a critical juncture, Dubai began to struggle. However, Tang San skillfully guided him from a distance. Upon hearing Tang San's voice, Dubai's body suddenly stabilized, and the ethereal form of the heavenly fox above his head gradually solidified. Subsequently, the surrounding energy converged towards the back of the heavenly fox, condensing progressively into a third tail. As a result, the life aura fluctuations within the Golden Valley intensified. The Blue-Silver Emperor, along with other plants, including the Golden Tree and every living being, seemed to reach out for good fortune. At that moment, the rest of Team Shrek emerged from their meditation to witness the astonishing spectacle. A dark cloud suddenly materialized in the sky, attaching itself to the newly grown tail of the heavenly fox, which turned black. A sudden sense of foreboding washed over the entire Team Shrek. Tang San was the first to realize and speculate that what they had just witnessed was likely the 6th-level ability of the heavenly fox transformation. He suspected that the black tail possessed the power to control misfortune and inflict curses. Tang San regarded this ability as genuinely terrifying, and he couldn't help but wonder what kind of abilities Dubai would possess once he formed his 9th tail. Before long, the 3rd tail reverted to its original color, leaving Tang San to ponder whether the breakthrough was complete. An hour later, Dubai opened his eyes, signaling the successful completion of his breakthrough to the 6th rank. After announcing his breakthrough, he quickly returned to his usual cheerful demeanor and celebrated his mastery over both good and bad luck. He confidently declared that everything would be different from that point onward. Seizing the opportunity, Tang San offered some advice to Dubai, cautioning him about the potential consequences. The delicate balance between good luck and bad luck had been disrupted, and Dubai needed to devote himself to more diligent practice in the future. However, after a brief moment of goofing off, they eagerly inquired about their return to the coliseum. They couldn't wait to unleash their misfortune upon their opponents. Tang San, however, reminded Dubai that tampering with luck on the battlefield would surely lead to discovery. Tang San explained that it was inevitable for there to be god-level powerhouses among the spectators, and those of such rank would easily discern Dubai's abilities. In response, Dubai expressed his frustration at his inability to assist his teammates during times of crisis, despite possessing the power to do so. Tang San, ever the wise mentor, reminded Dubai that he had been helping them all along, bestowing them with the power of luck that enabled them to emerge victorious in their matches. He urged Dubai not to underestimate his worth, emphasizing that he was an integral member of the team. Encouraged by these words, Dubai's eyes sparkled with newfound determination. However, the moment was abruptly shattered by Gu Li, who arrogantly claimed to be stronger than Dubai and dismissed his powers as mere illusions. Inwardly, Dubai scoffed at Gu Li's words, his eyes gleaming with an eerie light that swiftly enveloped Gu Li's body, subjecting him to a curse of bad luck. Undeterred, Gu Li remained resolute in his quest to prove his superiority, openly underestimating the power of misfortune. Therefore, he decided to remain still and refrain from taking any action in order to observe whether or not this streak of bad luck would affect him. In the very next moment, a colossal monster bird soared over the valley and took a massive dump, instantly baptizing Gu Li in all the repulsive and putrid glory. Moments later, an enraged Gu Li, who was literally full of shit, managed to free himself and vowed to fight Dubai with all that he had. However, Dubai, in turn, advised him against attacking. Despite this advice, Gu Li disregarded it and recklessly charged Dubai, seemingly willing to sacrifice himself. Meanwhile, Tang San called out to him, urging him to calm down, given his current state of being covered in bird droppings. Yet Gu Li paid no attention, stumbled over a twig, and face-planted into the ground. Seizing the opportunity, Dubai couldn't resist saying, "I told you so," as Gu Li lay defeated on the ground. Later that day, Team Shrek actively avoided Gu Li, as his body emitted an unbearable stench. Dubai and Bingji advised him to return and take 10 more baths. Dubai stood beside Tang San, gloating over the fact that Gu Li had faced the consequences of daring to bully him. On the other hand, Tang San inwardly sighed. He marveled at the formidable strength of the Heavenly Fox's bloodline. He observed that despite Gu Li being one rank higher than Dubai, he had no defense against the latter's Heavenly Fox transformation. Subsequently, Dubai reported that Tang San had been correct in his earlier cautionary words. When he cursed Gu Li with bad luck, Dubai felt a cloud-like presence manifesting in his mind, which instantaneously changed. Tang San acknowledged the significance of the clouds as a manifestation of good fortune, a notion supported by Dubai's speculation that utilizing the clouds to bestow blessings would enhance his abilities. It appeared that Gu Li had finally grasped the lesson and requested Dubai to maintain a distance. Subsequently, Tang San proceeded to elucidate the different methods to experiment with the effects of the clouds. 3 days later, Bingji's cultivation had been restored to the 8th rank, clearly demonstrating the effectiveness of his bloodline purification. However, when he expressed his desire to continue purifying, Tang San advised him to wait until he reached the 9th rank in preparation for breaking through to the god level. Subsequently, Bingji inquired about their participation in the 5th match and reminded the team that they had yet to collect their commission and bonus from the previous match. Tang San agreed, emphasizing the importance of stabilizing their cultivation bases. However, he also mentioned that they needed to make particular demands. Therefore, he decided to go to the coliseum alone to speak with the officials. Upon arriving at the coliseum, Tang San was asked about their readiness for the 5th round. Having already secured the prize money and bonus from the previous match, Tang San stated that his team would be prepared in 3 days. However, they had a requirement. They needed to gather information about their opponents in advance to prepare themselves better. Tang San argued that it was hard to believe that their previous opponents had yet to study them. Meanwhile, in Carey City, Mei Gong and her foster father, Wang Qing, had completed their period of seclusion. Mei Gongzi felt that she had made progress in her cultivation, stabilizing her 8th rank. Upon hearing the report, the peacock race patriarch Wang Qing decided to teach Mei Gongzi a technique exclusive to their female members. He explained that it was widely believed that the male gender dominated the peacock monster race. However, an exception existed for the race to thrive. A woman was required. This woman would become the Great Demon King, a position of immense power and influence. It was then revealed that Mei Gongzi possessed the essence of the previous generation's Great Demon King within her. This explained her ability to condense the peacock golden crown at such a tender age. Mei Gongxi was, therefore, the rightful successor to the peacock great demon king. Recognizing her potential from a young age, Mei Gongxi was taken to the ancestral courts by her foster father. It was there that the heavenly fox great demon proclaimed her to be blessed with great destiny. The Peacock Patriarch, despite Mei Gongxi's affinity for the human race, had no objections as long as she continued the bloodline of the peacock monster race. Knowing that he would soon face his old foe after his retreat and seclusion, the Peacock Patriarch entrusted the future of the peacock monster race to Mei Gongxi. Wang Qing, having faith in Mei Gongxi's abilities, believed that she could lead their race to even greater glory. Mei Gongxi agreed to these terms, and the Patriarch advised her to rest, promising to teach her secret techniques later. Unbeknownst to Mei Gongxi, she had been in seclusion for over a year. During this time, she wondered about the whereabouts of Tang San and whether Asura would return to the academy to await her. Finally, the day of the 5th battle had arrived. After a lengthy period of recovery, Team Shrek made their triumphant return to the coliseum. News of their comeback spread like wildfire, drawing a multitude of eager spectators to witness the match. This time, the entire coliseum was teeming with anticipation as the crowd filled the arena. Tang San, composed and patient, observed his opponents as they emerged from the exit. As expected, they were members of the formidable Tiger Clan. The audience gasped in astonishment upon realizing that their beloved team would be facing off against the Dark Devil Tiger Clan, renowned for their second-rank bloodline and mastery of the dark element. The team's leader boasted an impressive 9th rank, while the remaining 4 fighters were all at the 8th rank. Undoubtedly, these adversaries posed a significant challenge for Team Shrek. However, Tang San couldn't help but smile inwardly, knowing that the information he had received was accurate. It was easy to deduce that most members of the Tiger Clan, being nobles, would not partake in arena battles. Instead, it was the non-noble fighters from the Dark Devil Tiger Clan who sought to earn their nobility. Amidst his contemplation, Tang San rallied his team, urging them to execute their well-devised plan. Once the signal was given, Dubai activated his array disc, causing a golden mark to materialize beneath each team member's feet. Simultaneously, a group of tiger demons unleashed their dark domain. When the moment arrived to commence the battle, Tang San, Dubai, Guli, and Chengzi channeled their energy into Wu Bingji, aided by the Spirit Fusion Array. As the name implies, the Spirit Fusion Array has the remarkable ability to harness the collective energy of all team members and channel it into a single individual. This extraordinary power bestowed upon Wu Bingji by his teammates resulted in an instantaneous ascension to the level of a 9th-ranked fighter. The leader of the Tiger team, known as the Dark Devil Tiger, was perplexed by this sudden surge in Wu Bingji's strength. Undeterred by the leader's confusion, Wu Bingji's comrades pressed forward while he prepared a barrage of ice needles. With precision and speed, he unleashed the needles, forcefully penetrating the Tiger Clan's dark domain before detonating upon impact. The astute leader recognized Wu Bingji's tactical maneuver, which aimed to impede their assault. In a display of his enhanced abilities, Wu Bingji then conjured an icy lance, a weapon familiar to those who had witnessed his previous battles. Speculation arose among the audience, pondering if this marked the beginning of a lethal strike. Thanks to the Spirit Fusion Array, Wu Bingji no longer needed to exhaust his bloodline in order to enhance his purification and cultivation. With a mere thought, he condensed the ice spear and launched a formidable attack against his opponent's dark domain. As the spear hurtled towards its target, a group of Dark Devil Tigers retaliated with a volley of dark energy orbs. However, Wu Bingji skillfully altered the trajectory of his assault. The collision of the ice spear and the airborne ice needles caused a chaotic dispersion of ice shards, bewildering the Devil Tigers. The leader, sensing the imminent danger, detected an ice needle aimed at his vital points. Regrettably, he was too late to evade it, and instead extended his arm, brimming with an aura, to block the impending strike. However, much to his surprise, the ice needle, followed closely by another, abruptly changed its course and narrowly missed his arm, instead striking his vulnerable blind spot. This resulted in his entire arm being instantaneously frozen solid. The human spectators in the audience erupted in excited cheers as the 9th-ranked demon tiger collapsed, while Wu Bingji conjured yet another ice lance. In response, the Devil Tiger team unleashed their power, channeling it high into the air to manifest a colossal demon tiger composed of the darkness attribute. While the attention of the audience was captivated by this spectacle, Dubai, positioned at the rear of his team, exhibited a faint white glow in his eyes. With remarkable swiftness, he managed to inflict a curse of bad luck. The leader of the Tiger team had fallen victim to a stroke of ill fortune, encountering a mishap while harnessing his power, resulting in irregular breathing and coughing fits. The Tiger team was taken aback, as they had never before experienced a failure in their summoning ritual. At that moment, the colossal tiger in the sky began to distort. The tiger team lost control over their formation, and in the midst of this distraction, Wu Bingji directed the ice lance toward the enemy captain, who was still grappling with the cause of his unstable breath. Frustrated and cursing inwardly, he resorted to activating his bloodline power and charging forward to intercept the incoming ice lance. However, what happened next left him utterly shocked. The beam of ice energy instantaneously split into 4, each striking a different 8th-ranked demon tiger with deadly precision. The captain inwardly cursed himself for falling into the trap, lured in under false pretenses. His opponents targeted his teammates, but in his current situation, he had no choice but to confront them head-on since he had already activated his bloodline power. Wu Bingji, however, noticed that his opponent was depleting his bloodline power and decided to bide his time until it was exhausted. Taking advantage of this, he summoned a massive ice wall. Yet, this was merely a diversion for the devil tiger, who failed to notice a gleaming ice needle high above him. Swiftly descending, it landed a clean headshot from an unexpected angle. The commentator was momentarily speechless before declaring the tiger team's defeat. Perplexed, he realized that Team Shrek's strength had become overwhelming and their teamwork impenetrable. As expected, Team Shrek stood proudly in the arena, receiving applause from the audience. Upon leaving the stadium, the Coliseum official congratulated them on their victory and informed them that the Coliseum master, Want, wished to meet them, urging them to follow. Tang San immediately grasped the connection to the array discs they possessed. Soon, they arrived at the entrance of the Coliseum master's quarters. Before Team Shrek stood a demon deer with a god-level cultivation base, who expressed his enjoyment of the match. The Coliseum master introduced himself as Yingjie, revealing that he was also the patriarch of the demon deer clan. However, he had been assigned the role of managing the Grand Coliseum by the Lord of Carey City. With a glance, he deduced that Tang San was the mastermind behind Team Shrek, prompting Tang San to inquire about the reason for their invitation. In response, Yingjie confidently stated that Tang San had likely already deduced the situation. He then referenced a saying in their world, which conveyed that it was considered a crime for an ordinary person to possess a valuable item like a jade. Using this pretext to investigate the unknown origins of the array discs, Yingjie demanded their surrender. He warned that if Team Shrek was caught with such items, the officials of the Grand Coliseum would not be able to intervene. Tang San's assumptions were proven correct upon hearing these words. However, he sought assurance that his team would be protected in exchange for handing over the discs. The Deer Patriarch affirmed this, albeit with a subtle hint that it depended on Tang San's cooperation. Before Yingjie could suggest that Tang San take some time to consider, the latter promptly handed over the array discs without hesitation. This unexpected action caught the Coliseum master off guard. Tang San referred to a saying that emphasized the wisdom of adapting to one's circumstances. Furthermore, he expressed his hope that by surrendering all the discs, the officials pursuing them would be dealt with, allowing them to continue participating in the competition. Yingjie immediately promised to address the issue with the officials before bidding farewell to Team Shrek. Outside the Coliseum, Wu Bingji sought an explanation for Tang San's actions. Tang San clarified that they had no other choice but to comply. However, he reassured Wu Bingji that it was not a problem since the deer demon needed to possess the knowledge to utilize the array discs. When Wu Bingji inquired about the strategy for their upcoming battle, taking into account the loss of their array discs, Tang San confidently assured him that they would not be necessary. This was because their opponents would be relatively easy to handle, as the deer demon had yet to learn how to operate the discs. Therefore, Team Shrek would be safe from any harm. However, Wu Bingji still expressed concern over the fact that they had entrusted such a treasured item to their opponents. He recalled the mayor's description of the discs and wondered if it was wise to have such an item circulating in the world of monster races. In response, Tang San explained that he had initially intended to use the discs as a means of generating income for their organization. However, he had decided to prioritize their strength instead. He emphasized the threat posed by their enemies, who had now acquired a new god-class warrior. Additionally, he pointed out that the members of the Deer Demon clan were businessmen who despised violence, making them suitable partners for cooperation. 5 days after the 6th match, Zhang Hao returned with all the necessary materials, including the massive teleportation array. He was eager to begin setting it up, prompting Tang San to give the green light for immediate action. He outlined the plan to install one array in the Golden Valley and the other in Zhang Hao's room within the academy. Afterwards, Tang San began setting up the array, while Zhang Hao observed and took notes from the sidelines. He soon realized that the mid-range teleportation array was more complex and adorned with numerous inscriptions. Zhang Hao, being a novice in arrays, found this observation perplexing. After 10 days of diligent work, both arrays were successfully set up. Upon witnessing the results, Zhang Hao inquired about Tang San's source of knowledge in array creation. Tang San, in response, questioned whether his teacher would believe him if he revealed the truth. He claimed to have learned the method through a dream. After a brief moment of disagreement, Tang San decided it was time to activate the array. However, before doing so, he explained that one needed to be at least at the 9th rank to activate it. Furthermore, if one possessed God-class cultivation, they could bring along a few additional individuals. Considering Zhang Hao's cultivation, he could bring 10 people with him. Tang San then stepped forward, holding an array disc in his hand, and activated the large teleportation array. This action caused a tremendous surge of power, disrupting Team Shrek's cultivation. In an instant, a rift materialized in space. Tang San instructed Zhang Hao to shield him with his divine consciousness, and warned his teacher against looking outside once they entered the fissure. This precaution was necessary to prevent them from being pulled out by the force of space. Zhang Hao complied with the request, and covered Tang San before they entered the spatial rift. A peculiar sight of a mysterious purple void immediately greeted Zhang Hao. As their bodies fully entered the void, Zhang Hao felt a sensation of dizziness and observed the distortion of surrounding energy. At that moment, Tang San reminded him not to gaze outside. In response, Zhang Hao promptly closed his eyes. In the blink of an eye, Tang San's feet touched solid ground, and he proudly announced their triumphant arrival. Zhang Hao, filled with confusion, finally grasped the reality of their teleportation. Overwhelmed with joy, he immediately began celebrating, expressing his belief in the potential for humanity's rise. With a cheerful demeanor, Zhang Hao embraced Tang San, grateful for their accomplishment. Sometime later, Tang San returned to the coliseum to prepare for their upcoming match. The bloodlust demon ape provided him with valuable information about their next opponents. As expected, Tang San discovered that their adversaries were considerably weaker. With this knowledge in hand, he swiftly devised tactics tailored to exploit their opponents' weaknesses. The following day, as they stepped onto the arena, the crowd erupted in continuous cheers. The commentator enthusiastically announced the arrival of the highly anticipated Headshot Shrek team. However, their opponents were far from ordinary. To everyone's surprise, they were faced with the formidable Lightning War team, comprised of members from the renowned Sky Reaper Falcon Demon race, known for their unbeatable speed. After the commentator successfully excited the crowd, he signaled for the match to commence. Astonishingly, the entire battle concluded within a mere 3 minutes, leaving the audience dumbfounded. Wu Bingji's swift and precise attacks effortlessly brought down each opponent. In celebration of their victory, Yingxie organized a banquet in their honor later that day. The delectable feast consisted of the finest quality monster meat, which greatly enhanced Tang San's cultivation. As they indulged in the meal, Yingxie revealed that the dishes were prepared using the flesh of the ice rhinoceros monster. Curious about their thoughts on the unique cuisine, Yingxie inquired about their experience. Wu Bingjie, appreciating the deliciousness of the food, acknowledged its quality. Afterward, the esteemed demon patriarch broached the topic of the 3 discs once again, expressing his desire to compensate Team Shrek for them. He revealed that he had recently come across a circulating array in the market known as the Spirit Gathering Array, which had the ability to assist in cultivation. He inquired if Team Shrek had any knowledge of this array. When Wu Bingjie denied having any information, the deer demon pondered whether Spirit Gathering Array had any connection to Team Shrek. However, he was uncertain if they were simply pretending to be unaware. He then disclosed that the array was valued at 50 elemental coins, and the supplies were still limited. Considering that the 3 array discs he had obtained from Team Shrek were more potent than the Spirit Gathering Array disc, he proposed an offer of 100 elemental coins. This amount left Wu Bingjie slightly stunned, and he was immediately struck with a bout of hiccups. At that moment, Tang San joined the conversation and expressed their preference to win 10 team battles and acquire noble titles rather than receive money. In response, the esteemed demon mentioned that this matter posed a challenge for him, as the Grand Coliseum was a fair place, and he had no control over the final match, which had to be fought against the strongest team. Tang San acknowledged this limitation and requested the Coliseum Master to ensure that they would reach the 10th game, at which point they would solely rely on their abilities. The deer demon expressed that while it may not be impossible, he was curious about the origin of the 3 discs in Tang San's possession. Tang San had anticipated this inquiry and had already devised a plan to address it. He replied that he could not fully explain the origin of the discs. Still, he recounted an incident where he and his teammates had unintentionally rescued a severely injured older man. As a token of gratitude, the older man had entrusted them with the 3 discs. This revelation piqued the interest of the Coliseum master, who wondered about the whereabouts of this older man. Before he could delve further into the matter, Tang San clarified that he did not know the older man's current location. However, the older man had mentioned that he hailed from the ancestral court and had promised to meet them again. Given the opportunity to visit the ancestral court, the Coliseum master inquired if it was the team's objective. Tang San confirmed this, explaining that their participation in the team battles was driven by the desire to reach the ancestral court, a privilege reserved for nobles. After contemplating for a moment, the Deer Demon assured Tang San that he would ensure Team Shrek's advancement to the finals. Expressing gratitude, Tang San promised to inform the Deer Demon immediately if any news regarding the older man surfaced, with the Deer Demon offering generous rewards in return. Following the negotiations, Tang San proceeded to teach Yingjie how to utilize the array disc. And in return, Yingjie bestowed 300 elemental coins upon Team Shrek. The following day, Team Shrek engaged in their next battle, and emerged victorious in 3 consecutive matches without encountering any surprises. With 9 victories under their belt, they were now just 1 step away from attaining noble status. However, at that crucial moment, mysteriously disappeared. Their impressive winning streak had captured the attention of the Ancestral Court's headquarters, prompting them to dispatch supervisors to monitor the upcoming 10th match. The Coliseum master once again met with Tang San and advised him to reconsider participating in the upcoming match due to the strength of their next opponent. However, Tang San was determined to take part in the Ancestral Court's auction, which required a noble status. Therefore, he insisted on participating. To prepare for the 10th game, Tang San and his team embarked on a rigorous training regimen for 2 weeks. Although the time allotted needed to be increased for each individual to fully enhance their cultivation, they persevered and worked hard to make up for their shortcomings. This dedication allowed the entire team to elevate their strength to a higher level. Tang San, in particular, focused on raising his heavenly demon fox transformation and time transformation abilities to match those of his companions. Once he reached a stable cultivation level at the 8th rank, Tang San no longer rushed to improve his cultivation further. If he hadn't deliberately suppressed it, he would have already reached the 9th rank. Instead, during the half-month cultivation period, he dedicated his efforts to tempering his body and enhancing his mental strength, reaching the peak of the 9th rank. However, Tang San was cautious to avoid attracting the attention of the Lord of the Plain and being suppressed. Therefore, he chose a slower and more secure method, using his mental power to nourish his divine consciousness. When he was first reincarnated, Tang San had sealed most of his memories in the outer layer for safety reasons. With the stabilization and recovery of his divine consciousness, memories from his previous life as the God King resurfaced and gradually became clearer. Tang San was well aware that a God King level existence had never existed in their world. However, he believed that if he could once again become a God King, he would be able to dominate the entire world. Nevertheless, he knew that this was a goal for the future, as he still needed to focus on breaking through to the God level. Within a month, the news of the Coliseum's 10th match spread throughout Cary City, causing a great deal of excitement among the human spectators. The entire city was abuzz with anticipation, leading to a significant increase in ticket prices. This time, Team Shrek's opponents were the formidable Invincible team. 3 days prior, the Coliseum official approached the team and offered them the option to withdraw from the final match without any blame. Since they all wore masks, their true identities remained unknown to the audience. Bingji expressed gratitude for the offer, but firmly rejected it. He insisted on participating because the people of Cary City were relying on them. Furthermore, he believed that the Coliseum official, being from the monster race, could not truly understand their determination. If Team Shrek were to retreat, it would leave the entire human race in despair. Even though the situation seemed dire, they were determined to face it head-on. The official admitted that he did not fully comprehend the humans, but he admired their courage. Just before the match, Team Shrek took a moment to reaffirm their determination to win. During this time, Changzi seized the opportunity to express her feelings for Bingji. However, Dubai intervened, cautioning her against doing so before the match, as it was considered bad luck. He had a strong belief that they would have incredible luck in their upcoming match. To ensure their success, Dubai advised Changzi to discuss her feelings after the match. Changzi's displeasure was evident as her moment was abruptly ruined. However, what unfolded next took her by surprise. Bingji, while holding her waist, acknowledged that Dubai was correct. In the same breath, he expressed his understanding of Changzi's unspoken thoughts. As he embraced her, he eagerly awaited her words after the match. The entire Team Shrek, with the exception of Tang San, felt a slight sense of embarrassment, while Changzi's face turned as red as a tomato. In that moment of bliss, their cheeks flushed with a deep crimson hue. Bingji then turned to Tang San and inquired if he had anything further to share. Tang San, assuming the role of captain, assured them that he would hold nothing back. Following their team huddle, the group was filled with a renewed sense of motivation to emerge victorious. Outside in the Grand Coliseum, the stands were teeming with spectators. However, the majority consisted of monster races due to the exorbitant ticket prices. Only a mere 20 human spectators were present, including the teachers from Redemption Academy. Their attendance was fueled by their deep concern for the outcome of the match. Muen questioned the mayor's certainty in allowing the children to participate, while Guanlong vowed never to forgive Zheng Hao if any harm befell the kids. Siru, on the other hand, urged his colleagues to remain calm, and reminded them of the mayor's track record of making well-informed decisions. Meanwhile, Zheng Hao sighed with a sense of resignation, realizing that he had no control over the unfolding events, particularly concerning Tang San. He then implored his colleagues to direct their attention to the arena stage, where the star students were making their entrance. Moments later, the formidable figure of the opposing team's captain emerged, shouldering an enormous broadsword. Prior to the commencement of the match, the Coliseum Master had provided Tang San with crucial information regarding their adversaries. He revealed that their opponents consisted of a team comprised of illegitimate sons of nobles who were determined to secure their noble status. Consequently, they were willing to invest a substantial amount of money to recruit a top-tier fighter as their captain. This formidable team was under the leadership of a renowned strongman known as the Liger Sword Saint. This individual possessed a unique lineage, being a hybrid of two prestigious bloodlines, the Golden Lion and the Golden Tiger. The Liger Sword Saint had recently gained notoriety for his victory over the one-eyed Yuxi in a one-on-one duel. Tang San recollected that this one-eyed giant had served as the host for a grand auction he had attended in the past. The Liger Sword Saint had reached the pinnacle of the 9th rank, and it was revealed by the Deer Demon that he sought excitement through participation in team battles. In the first 9 games, he effortlessly decimated all of the opposing teams with a single strike. Undoubtedly, he was a mighty adversary, posing a formidable challenge even to those possessing first-level bloodline abilities. However, his Achilles' heel lay in his overconfidence and his reluctance to cooperate with his teammates. The Liger Sword Saint emanated a potent aura of hostility, which immediately disoriented Bingji. Yet before his mental state could deteriorate any further, Tang San bravely stepped forward to shield him from the vicious onslaught. Bingji was taken aback by Tang San's ability to withstand the killing intent. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the arena, the Liger Sword Saint fixated his gaze on Tang San, finding him intriguing. In contrast, Tang San remained composed and unaffected, his expression unchanged. In the Grand Coliseum, the commentator's voice resonated, announcing the current situation. It was a historic moment, as it marked the first time a human team had advanced this far. The commentator expressed his genuine regret for Team Shrek, as their luck seemed to have run out. Their opponents, the formidable Invincible team, led by the renowned Liger Sword Saint, posed a significant challenge. With anticipation, the commentator wondered how long it would take for the Liger Sword Saint to end the match. He then signaled for the match to commence. At that moment, Dubai activated an array disc in his hand. Prior to the match, Yingxie had temporarily returned the 3 array discs to Team Shrek. The Liger Sword Saint, observing this, questioned why Team Shrek had not yet launched their usual attack with Bingji's move. Unfazed by the situation, the Liger Sword Saint exuded a majestic golden aura as he charged forward. Tang San, quick to react, rushed in to intercept his opponent. With his hammer in hand, Tang San emitted a faint aura. In an instant, the distance between the two charging opponents closed, and the Liger Sword Saint prepared to deliver a devastating blow with his broadsword. With fury, the Liger Sword Saint brought down his blade, seemingly splitting Tang San in half. However, a peculiar occurrence took place in the next moment. Right before the Sword Saint's eyes, Tang San's body split into 2, evading the Sword Saint's mental lock. Realizing his underestimation of his opponent, the Sword Saint swiftly shifted to a defensive stance. Yet, Tang San refused to grant him a moment's respite, and continued his relentless assault. The Liger Sword Saint retaliated with an energy blast from his bloodline power, forcing Tang San to retreat. After a brief moment, Tang San's clones vanished, leaving only one figure standing. Not only was he unharmed, but his determined expression and unwavering fighting spirit caught the attention of the teachers at the Redemption Academy. They couldn't believe that Tang San had managed to evade the notorious mental lock, a technique used by the Liger Sword Saints to immobilize their opponents. Tang San's incredible mental strength allowed him to escape its grasp, and even launch a counterattack. Zhang Hao watched in awe, unable to gauge Tang San's true power. Meanwhile, the remaining 4 enemy fighters seized the opportunity to launch their own assault, One of them held the 9th rank in strength, while the other 3 were at the 8th level. These 4 adversaries charged directly at the remaining members of Team Shrek. Fortunately, Tang San had already anticipated their approach. Recognizing that they were all close combatants, he had devised a guerrilla battle plan to counter their attacks. As the enemy closed in, Dubai activated the teleportation array, causing Team Shrek to vanish from their original position and reappear on the other side of the coliseum. Frustrated and cursing aloud, the 4 members of the invincible team rushed to the opposite side to resume their attack. Dubai couldn't help but smile, recalling the guerrilla tactics they had developed for this match. The plan was for Tang San to restrain the enemy's powerhouse, while the other 4 utilized the teleportation formation to engage in hit-and-run tactics against their remaining opponent. Dubai showcased his exceptional mental strength by utilizing the teleportation array every 10 seconds. This strategic move allowed him to not only crush his opponent with a stroke of bad luck, but also search for their weaknesses. Unfortunately for the invincible team, the battlefield spanned hundreds of meters in diameter, with the intense battle between Tang San and the Liger Sword Saint taking place in the center. Consequently, 4 fighters from the invincible team were compelled to give chase while skillfully avoiding the combat zone of their captain and Tang San. The Sword Saint adamantly prohibited any interference in his battles, even from his teammates, who would be swiftly eliminated without mercy. Thus, his comrades were left with no choice but to frantically pursue their opponents. However, catching up with Team Shrek proved to be a daunting task. The 10-second interval provided ample time for their adversaries to vanish and reappear on the opposite side of the arena. Amidst this cat-and-mouse game, Bingji patiently accumulated his power, relying on his bloodline abilities, and awaited the opportune moment to exploit his opponent's vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, Tang San and the Sword Saint continued their fierce duel, momentarily pausing in a tense standoff. The Liger Sword Saint grew increasingly frustrated as he struggled to mentally lock on to Tang San, questioning whether his opponent possessed greater mental strength than his own, which was at the pinnacle of the 9th rank. Despite this disadvantage, the Sword Saint charged forward, fueled by a long-lost excitement. Sensing his opponent rapidly closing the distance, Tang San swiftly activated the Ghost Shadow Perplexing Track, a legendary technique from the Tang sect. This skill allowed him to deftly evade the relentless onslaught of attacks unleashed by his opponent. Consequently, the Liger Sword Saint found himself perplexed by the extraordinary ability his opponent possessed. This ability allowed him to effortlessly float around the arena, evading each one of the Sword Saint's attacks. As the Sword Saint relentlessly struck, the spectators from the monster races were astounded by Tang San's impeccable dodging skills, leaving them pondering the secret behind his seemingly impossible feat. Meanwhile, the frustrated Liger Sword Saint clenched his teeth in annoyance. Despite Tang San's lower cultivation level, he managed to outmaneuver the Sword Saint without launching any counterattacks. The Sword Saint begrudgingly acknowledged that Tang San had employed clever tactics to drain his energy. Without hesitation, the Liger Sword Saint executed a sweeping sword strike, creating a wide arc around his body, which forcefully pushed Tang San backward. Subsequently, he plunged his sword into the ground within the arena and unleashed a powerful blast fueled by his bloodline power. This final move was intended to land a solid hit, as the Sword Saint was confident that Tang San would be unable to evade such a wide-scale attack. However, in the blink of an eye, Tang San gracefully raised his right foot and executed the War Stomp, a bloodline ability inherited from the Elephant Demon race. The impact of his attack dispersed his opponent's energy blast, leaving the Sword Saint dumbfounded. Yet, the Sword Saint swiftly managed to follow up with an energy wave, fired by his massive blade, reminiscent of the legendary and iconic Getsuga Tensho. Despite the unwavering determination of his opponent, Tang San effortlessly evaded the final attack, leaving the Sword Saint perplexed by the young boy's multitude of abilities. Observing the Sword Saint's struggle to catch his breath, Tang San recognized the opportune moment to launch his counterattack. Much to the dismay of the Liger Sword Saint, Tang San swiftly initiated a relentless assault, leaving his opponent desperately scrambling to defend himself. Frustration consumed the Sword Saint as Tang San denied him the chance to recuperate, forcing him into a defensive stance while relentlessly pressing his attacks. The astute monster racers in the audience soon realized that Tang San was steadily pushing the Sword Saint backward. It became evident to the Sword Saint that he would find himself in dire straits if Tang San continued his unyielding barrage. Desperate for a few precious seconds to regain his breath, the Sword Saint's thoughts were abruptly interrupted when Bingji skillfully employed an ice needle to execute a clean headshot against one of his teammates. At that very moment, Tang San executed a remarkable teleportation maneuver, utilizing the spatial teleportation ability inherited from his peacock bloodline. The Sword Saint, left in a state of disbelief, could only watch as Tang San effortlessly outmaneuvered him. The monster races in the audience were captivated by the sight of the Sword Saint being relentlessly pushed back. Due to Tang San's ceaseless onslaught, the Liger Sword Saint found himself devoid of any opportunity to recover, constantly suppressed and defeated. He patiently awaited the moment when Tang San would finally succumb to exhaustion. However, Tang San was employing the formidable, disorder-splitting windhammer technique. By harnessing the accumulated momentum from his previous strikes, he unleashed a relentless barrage of increasingly powerful blows. This technique allowed him to attack with unwavering force, eliminating the need for rest, as long as his opponent's countershock did not surpass Tang San's endurance limit. Each of Tang San's strikes surpassed the strength of its predecessor, possessing the ability to shatter even the most resilient of defenses. The fiery energy of the heavenly fire essence iron, infused within the Liger Sword Saint's weapon, intensified under the influence of Tang San's indomitable mental strength. The accumulated fiery energy grew to such an extent that the Sword Saint's blade became scorching hot to the touch, causing his fingers to burn upon contact. Desperately, the Sword Saint struggled to defend against the relentless onslaught, using the flat of his blade to parry the incoming attacks. Puzzled by the situation, he soon realized that if his opponent continued to rain down blows, his sword would be utterly destroyed. Meanwhile, as Tang San maintained the pressure, Bingji executed a precise headshot against another enemy fighter. With the swift elimination of their comrades, the remaining members of the invisible team found themselves facing a daunting 2 versus 4 situation. Aware of the unfavorable odds, they hesitated to launch reckless attacks. On the opposite side of the arena, Tang San's spinning attacks showed no signs of abating, as he effortlessly delivered 35 hammer strikes in the blink of an eye. In a climactic conclusion, Tang San delivered one last resounding strike, shattering the Liger Sword Saint's formidable blade and sending it flying from his grasp. The sheer force propelled the Sword Saint backward, yet the tenacious opponent refused to yield. In a surprising twist, Tang San hurled his hammer toward the retreating Sword Saint, leaving even his seasoned teachers astonished by the audacity of the move. Undeterred, the Sword Saint struggled to regain his balance, perceiving the incoming hammer. Reacting swiftly, he raised his right hand to intercept the impending blow. Unfortunately, the hammer struck with unrestrained force, shattering not only the Sword Saint's gauntlet, but also grievously damaging his arm. Facing imminent defeat, the Liger Sword Saint, in a desperate bid, resorted to the drastic measure of burning his life force to unleash a final destructive onslaught. However, Tang San, ever astute, activated his purple demon eye, disrupting the sacrificial technique and temporarily stunning his beleaguered adversary. Amidst his confusion, the Sword Saint pondered the unexpected deactivation of his trump card, leaving him vulnerable. Seizing the opportunity, Tang San accelerated toward the Sword Saint with remarkable speed. The Liger Sword Saint, regaining his composure, thrust his undamaged left arm toward Tang San, who adeptly dodged the attack and seized his opponent in a swift and masterful execution of the controlling crane capturing dragon technique. In a seamless motion, Tang San slammed the Sword Saint into the arena floor, the impact causing the ground to cave in and leaving the audience momentarily breathless. Maintaining his grip on his opponent's arm, Tang San stood over the limp body within the newly formed crater, while his teammates skillfully dispatched the remaining adversaries. Thus, Tang San brought the 10th match to a spectacular and triumphant conclusion, leaving the audience in awe of his prowess.